Herc, let's turn our attention to the Mexican national team, or maybe I should say the Mexican national team pool. There's always a discussion. Who in the current moment is the best Mexican player? Who is it? Raúl Jiménez or your neighbor out there, Carlos Vela?
Oh, well, you said Mexican national team pool, so it's Raúl Jiménez because Vela's already said he's not part of the pool.
No. I said pool. He could still be in the pool. He's still Mexican national team eligible.
He himself said he's not eligible.
Don't take the easy way out.
But for your exercise that you want to do right now, and it'll always be, Carlos Vela is the most talented Mexican player. He is. Raúl Jiménez is proving it at a very good level. But if you're talking about just pure overall talent and who would you rather have right now, I take Carlos Vela 10 times out of 10 than anybody in the pool any day of the week.
I don't understand. Hey, Herculez, I don't understand why you take this from Seb. He phrases the question. He uses the national team pool as a reference point. Exactly. Carlos Vela has said that he's not going to play with the national team. Then, therefore, he's not part of the pool. So, guess what? If you want to complain about anything, Seb, complain about your line of questioning. Okay?
I wouldn't be the first to complain about my line of questioning.
Yes, right. Exactly. Maybe we learn from those experiences, huh? And whenever you include Carlos Vela in the conversation, then it's to me it's a non-starter because time and time again he has said thanks but no thanks, and so therefore it doesn't really matter how well or how poorly he's doing because it's not in comparison. It's apple and oranges. It's not in comparison to whatever else everybody else is doing because everybody else has said, yeah, we'll play with the national team. Carlos Vela is the only one that has said, yeah, I don't think so.
Hey, Herc, why don't you just say Carlos Vela is the best player? Why do you always fall back on most talented?
Because the best player is irrelevant when you're comparing a number 9 to a player like Carlos Vela that's more of a creative player. And especially nowadays when you're using a very limited pool, and this is why you bring up Carlos Vela, because you could easily say, well, Raúl Jiménez is the only one who's actually performing. He might be the only one who's actually playing.
And he's doing it in the Premier League, not in MLS. How can you say
but you're comparing him to an MLS player because the rest of the pool is weaker.
No, Alec, come on. Surely goals in the Premier League mean more than goals in MLS.
Of course they do.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's a question here, but I could also go back and say, well, Carlos Vela was scoring goals with Real Sociedad consistently. He was doing a job that nobody else was doing at that time for the Mexican national team. And so, I mean, look, you can spin it however you want to spin it, but to me it's a pointless conversation because Carlos Vela himself has taken himself out of the conversation. We keep bringing him back because of the productivity, because of the talent, because of the goals, because you're thinking, man, wouldn't it be nice if he was part of the national team? Well, he doesn't want to be part of the national team, and so therefore, take care, see you later. We'll count on the guys that really want to be. And if that's Raúl Jiménez who's going to lead the front line for the Mexican national team, let me tell you something. You should take it and run with it because at least the guy wants to be part of the program.
Ali, and the reason Sebi keeps bringing back Carlos Vela into this conversation is not so much Carlos Vela himself, it's that the rest of the pool isn't playing. These European players aren't playing, so he's forced to drag Carlos Vela back into this conversation.
An irrelevant conversation, something we've definitely never been accused of having on this program. Guys, thanks for the time.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.